Improving water resilience in the EU, organized in the framework of the Civil Presidency Initiative. Allow me to greet you on behalf of the organizer, the Great Lakes and Wetlands Association. For those of you who were not here yesterday, my name is Odera. I will be the moderator, master of ceremonies of the conference today, just like yesterday. I am myself also from the trade, so to say. I am co-founder of Centerwise, the regenerative development consulting firm. My duty here at the conference will be to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that we have a good event, a satisfactory event, and my duties also include the less rewarding one of making sure that we run on time. We had a very vivid day yesterday, and in fact with insightful lectures, speeches about the present state of freshwater resources. And we have planned really engaging lectures for this second day too, where the overarching theme will be the opportunities that open up to us and the lessons we can learn from recent projects that seek to ensure that nature, people, and the economy can all thrive. Today, I think we will also get a stark reminder of how difficult the situation is that we are facing. We are expecting a major rain and a flood on the Danube River. I also read just yesterday that they are expecting 250 millimeters of rain in northern Austria, in the ambience of Vienna, and so major floods are expected, especially in the western part of Hungary and eastern part of Austria. So after the enormous drought that we experienced just this summer, we are getting the other extreme, which is the extreme rain and flooding. Our first session today will be a policy session, and we will focus on the restoration of freshwater habitats. And so allow me to begin by introducing the speakers of the first panel. I will first introduce all the three speakers. Then we will proceed to the lectures, and there will be some time for questions, answers, a discussion at the very end, roughly 10-15 minutes at the end of this session. So our first speaker today will be Dr. Artur Furdyna, who will present the benefits of large-scale restoration of freshwater habitats and the lessons learned by the Rewilding Oder Delta program. He was trained as a hydrobiologist, and for 30 years he has been involved in the protection and restoration of riverine ecosystems in Western Pomerania. Dr. Furdyna is an expert to the Polish parliamentary group for the renaturation of the Odera River. He's an advisor to WWF Poland, and a member, and he also advises parliamentarians in Poland. Mr. Furdyna supports the Rewilding Oder Delta since the beginning as a board member, and this year he joined the staff to implement renaturation measures on the inland Govinica rivers. Privately, he's an avid wildlife watch guide and a photographer and an angler. So he has these stakes in the renaturation programs. Our second speaker will be Dr. Gábor Ungvári from the Regional Center for Energy Policy Research. Dr. Ungvári, a senior water economist, will talk about the economic benefits from restoration. His main professional interest is applying economics for the advanced use of water resources and water-related ecosystem services in the context of water policy problems. For the Hungarians in our audience, you may want to check out his website, szelidvízország.hu, of which he's an editor, and this website is dedicated to a wider audience. And last but not least, on behalf of the Wide Europe Foundation, Zoltán will speak about the possibilities for the re-establishment of freshwater wilderness. Zoli spoke yesterday, and I'm sure many of you know him, but I will give a proper introduction. Of course, Zoli is the head of the organizing team of this conference, and he's a forester, landscape architect, and urban forestry specialist. His focus and expertise lie in the nexus of climate change and biodiversity loss, with special focus on protecting and restoring wilderness, forest, and freshwater habitats. He is the president of the Great Lakes and Wetlands Association and has recently been appointed a member of the Council of Europe's Working Group on Landscape and Human Health. Each speaker will have 25 minutes. Just like yesterday, I will tap on the table to let you know when you have 5 minutes remaining and then 2 minutes remaining. And so the second one will indicate for you that you will have to wrap up your speech. So, Artur, the floor is yours.
Hi everybody, thank you for invitation and a lot of nice words about myself. One explanation or maybe two short. I am not a doctor, I am master of science. But I am trying to reverse from this side. I am feeling myself as a guy. And second is I am Polish.
It's an honorary doctor.
Yeah, thank you. I am Polish because organization is Polish Germany. The movement Rewilding Europe cover all Europe, and as maybe some of you know, currently here something much bigger. This is global idea. This Rewilding Global Alliance. So in each continent, people start to listen, think in the way we started some years ago in small team during discussion and coffee breaks. We start to think what happens, what not work. It was so nice plans to nature conservation, protection. We spent as countries individually and as EU. So big money. But the conditions of nature are worse and worse. This is strange. I have maybe some of you are thinking, inviting me that I bring some answers, but I have more questions after the first day than answers. And I'm afraid that here I will also ask you more than answer. because like with this weather report, we currently in Poland also wait for rains at the same level like happens during 97 flood. So this is a little the same story. Unfortunately, using this more than 20 years, we demolished much more in the basin of Odera River, and currently the same level of rains would be more tragic than it was. So the question is, are we learning something or not? But the title is about scale. It is difficult to say large scale. What does it mean? For me, the scale should be enough big to really repair something, to stimulate, to start a couple of processes. Because rewilding is a story about possibilities of manage nature itself. Because there are more and more proofs that it is the best manager. Unfortunately, we have problem with understanding and accepting this. We love to manage everything as a species. Talking about the large scale, we are trying to find a scale where our intervention will stimulate nature comeback. Because thinking about water is the base for everything. We are staying on the river, also staying on the top of the mountain. We are staying on the river. So we have to look for water as the creator of everything we know. This is our world, built by millennia by water. And currently we are afraid of water. This is strange, but this is the truth. And we should be afraid because we change so much the landscape that this landscape is earlier ready for taking every rain. Currently, after every bigger is flooded. Flood is not a problem. This is part of the natural processes. But when we build something or jump into the floodplains, then it starts to be a problem. But in my opinion, we should more be aware of droughts, because this is the permanent state of the continent in Europe. So coming back for a moment to the scale, nature lovers often are afraid of big machines doing something in nature. The truth is that demolishing we're doing by centuries, and especially last 2 centuries, it was made by also big machines, and sometimes this is the only way to do it quickly and repairing what was earlier demolished. Here you see one of the oldest shipping waterway in Europe. Ina River was used by 5 centuries as a waterway. It's difficult to trust what I'm saying, but you can have a look in Hansa history. It was wars on this river. Who is owner? Because this was tax taker. And Szczecin was fighting with Goleniów and Stargard, 3 towns. Who also, Ina was a prisoner, close by Szczecin head, because he didn't want to accept the situation that Goleniów is taking tax. Also, they changed the river mouth. So this is the history of this river. Currently, it looks like White River. This is next part of the problem. Something looking like it is not working like natural. This is still channel, because when we start to channelize the river is the lowest point when you cross-cut the catchment, when the natural lowest point, it is rivers. When you deepen it, you deepen everything. So thanks to this, you have less and less water, groundwater. And when we are talking about the catchment, sorry, because in general we are talking the surface of catchments. What the truth is that catchment is the space. We should talk about capacity of catchment. We lost a lot. Thanks to driving this, deepening the natural drainage, we lost cubic kilometers, not meters. Currently, often we see information that we are preparing the millions meters, cubic meters. What does it mean? It is capacity for a few hours of strong rain. So this is myths, but opening big money for some groups of interest. When we talk about rewilding and scale, we are trying to think about rivers from the springs to the mouth. We are placed in the mouth of Odera River during last 30 years. It was historical, it is a story, so it was most productive water in Poland. The fish productivity, for example, it was more than 20 times higher than in typical lake inland. So it was really full of life. At the same time, this estuary was cleaning all this load, what was transported by Odera River to Pomerania Bay and Baltic Sea. Currently it not works because it was killed, building new shipping way. Because a few years ago, we had an investment for what is this navigability. When we talk about this, we shouldn't say we need navigability. Is it our business that somebody earn money, good money, from using river for transporting? If it is boat enough big to the size of the river, it's okay. Because this function rivers offer from the start. But when we change the river for some use of bigger boats, currently in Poland we accepted change from the semi-natural, partially, river to the channel. Odera is channel. And currently, when water like in 97 will come, it could be catastrophic, really. So, but coming back, so this is bigger scale. We are not able to change it. We can. We were giving comments from the first signals of idea of this interested. It happens. Our comments lay somewhere. Yeah, this is strange when we are talking here about EU policy. I have a question: why such places are not protected? Because there are not. The last we can find in some white forests, thanks God, foresters. They are looking much forward than the other groups of users of the landscape, because forests not grow in 1-2 years. So they have to keep in mind longer periods. So there are one type, which is protected nature site only, but thanks to some plants you can find there. But in general, as a geographical, biological site, it is not protected. It is, in my opinion, a huge mistake. But of course, in farmlands, you will not find such places. Eventually, you can, having some old maps, you can find where the pipes were put into the ground, and currently are drainaging very effectively all area. And thanks to this, every rain, currently we have two situations in water. currently in most of territory of Europe. This is dry or flat. We lose normal time. So this is thing we want to change. So we plan to do actions in scale which will be able to have influence, maybe not in big catchments like a quarter of country, but in smaller, it is possible. This is a model. If you want, I can guide you to see the close to natural river in Poland. We planned to do reserve, but we were blocked. This is hydrologically natural river. You see that this is connected with floodplain. It was thanks to building the sequence of reservoirs, artificial, 100 years ago. They let this forget about. So, thanks to this, you can see that natural Pomerania River, it looks like mountain rivers with sequences of rapids and this slower, deeper parts. And we are trying to do the same because the main change in Ina River, for example, it was the removal of every shallower stretches because it was a problem for shipping. Second thing they changed, it is wide of the river because they need deeper. So they deepen it and narrower. Thanks to this, they receive channel. It works, of course, it works. With horses holding ships up. Okay, this is the story about ecology of riverine transportation, because up we use also current not help. So this is the problem. To come back and to repair this lost retention in ground, we need to repair it. But the difficulty is that people see catchment as, this is the model built by Professor Mateusz. It is very easy. Big computer spent more than 1 week to prepare such model. We will see why. This is what we see. This is the true about surface level, underground. Yeah? This is this first, not deeper. This is why I'm saying everywhere we are staying in the river. This is on the border here. There is hills 60 meters, but sandy hills, and this is the model of catchment, and this is what we should have in mind how it works, and it works everywhere in the same way. This is the scheme what we are building, thanks to my colleague who draw better than me. There are a lot of functions of such structures, and for example, in Poland, I will show you some examples from other rivers, not made by my association, but I was a part of team who was doing also this project, Ungvári River restoration. But everywhere people are thinking about fishes, but the truth is that the most important function is to stabilize the low water level, not high water. Because high water is not a problem. The problem is with low water, because the keeping this low water at the right level determine the use of capacity of retention in catchment. And this is, again, this is in a river during spring. You can see it was meandering like this. Currently, it is half shortened. It is currently five centuries ago. It happens, and currently we don't see, because earlier it was roads on both banks, and these roads were used for horses. This is maybe one underwater picture, but of restored river. when we started the first live project, and Eva was also a part of trees, a part of association. I'm also a member and president, the Association of Friends of Legnica Rivers. This is also Crowfoot River, water Crowfoot River. This special group of plants you could see here. This is all year green plants which do very important service, self-cleaning river. In opposite to the most of plants which disappear in autumn, it is working all the year, so the service is really very important. Current stage with the things we are talking about, this is the map of renaturalization activity. It could make imagination that we did a lot, but when you start to zoom the map, you see that still it is points or stretches of the rivers. But there are, as you see, 1 century. And I have pleasure to live here and work here, and being a part of this. And 2nd century is in south of Poland, where happened also big, really enough, in my opinion, restoration project. It is all river valley restoration project. The effects we will see in coming years, but you also could see that, eastern part is still waiting. But there were many, 20, 30 years ago, it was many rivers which didn't need any interventions. Interventions there happens after flood in 97. Flood was here on this catchment, but everybody wanted to use money after flood. So they were preparing explanation, we need money because flood happens. So the huge river of money from EU was spent for demolishing in eastern Poland. That is true. Drava River, this is the project awarded in Fish Passage 2020 conference by World Hydro Engineer Organization. We restored river in national park. I had more problems with nature lovers and scientists to explain why I'm trying to do something in national park. It was looking so beautiful, but it was channel. And most of this river still is channel. 245 last century, it was a shipping channel used by big ships, 10 meters long, to timber transportation. So, nature was trying, but still needs a lot of time. And we have to keep in mind that if in mountains, the difference between big water and low water is few thousand%, in lowland, it is sometimes 100% bigger, high water. So it has no power. The power which was creating the landscape we are living in lowlands happens 7, 8, 10,000 years ago. It was the time of building landscape. Then after this, nothing happens enough big to change the situation until human came. The effects, benefits. Is it benefit when wildlife come back? For me, no. This is things I love to happen, but it is not benefit. This is things should be. In Drava River, after building second hydropower in the West, German built it 120 years ago. In next years, the last populations of Odera River salmon, the biggest salmons in the world. This population, Odera, has grown few times quicker than the others. In Drava rivers, we have data, historical data, showing fishes near 50 kilograms. Atlantic salmon, twice bigger than in other catchments. It was very special. This is why British wanted to buy last X and try to reintroduce introduce it in Falkland Islands without success, unfortunately. So but it was some individuals thanks to artificial stocking, etc. But after our project, first from 25 years, juvenile appear after spawn. Here you see salmon reds. It is 30 meters wide river, so each red of one female, it is near 4 meters. It is then next. I will show you how we are doing, but it is not salmon. This is how it will work. Yeah, it is last slides. This is Stitch Road, twice smaller, but doing the same. They are preparing some, let's say, buildings, hills from the gravel, putting eggs between to be safe and with good situation. Next action we are doing, because all thanks to navigability and use for transport, water transportation, every tributary of Ina River was used for building, because this is one of the important thing in the soil. Currently we are trying to remove it. Unfortunately, most of it is very old, so we have problem with law because it is protected. So we are only touching this, part in water, because water is water. So this is what we use, and such ruins we are turning in passage for fish, for the this is it happens this year, so I'm proud. After 10 years of fighting, we removed one such. Yeah, but the truth is that we removed much more. So I put to the rivers few trains of gravels in many places in Pomerania rivers, part as a rewilding. Next, repairing of valleys, river valleys, restoration of multi-parameter connectivity in river valleys. This is rising, it is a park, but opening floodplain, alluvial forest, opening for flooding, it is very important, and the nature comeback, you can see it's fantastic, yes. This is, flowering rivers, people from like Eva, living in mountains, some mountains regions, knows this. Earlier, it was possible to see everywhere in every river. This is very important, the salmon plant in the UK also. And when we repair the conditions in valleys, these valleys and this landscape is ready for also such guests. And we are active in such projects also. This is benefit? No, this is success, but it could be benefit for whom. This is also part of our activity. It is benefits for local people, because this is the question, but here we could talk about benefits, possible benefits. The problem is how to steer this process, to not use it as a mass tourism, such brilliant nature, and the only guard able to take care about it, this is the local people, because investment from cities, etc., we don't understand them if they don't live there. There is a set of team, part of it is our team, part is our friends and local people. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much. And maybe it's less networking. Thank you very much. And let me just say, if the photos were truly spectacular. So Next up is Dr. Gábor Ungvári from the Regional Center for Energy Policy Research.
Okay. You hear it? Yeah, you can answer. Okay, welcome everybody. I want to express a different angle to restoration and thinking about nature and managing nature. I'm an economist. And it's a good thing to be an economist in green issues. Everybody loves us up to the point we express in numbers how